Three, two, one, roll the. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Simon Severino, your host. And today we have Dr. Donese Worden, award winning physician, respected researcher, and global educator. And we will explore why our number one business asset is your health and the latest in prevention strategies. Welcome, everybody, Dr. Donese Worden.
Yay, glad to be here, Simon. It's fun.
So cool to have you here and to talk about something that we don't talk a lot about here. We talk about what CEOs need to take care of, and we talk about assets, but we didn't talk a lot about health as the number one asset. So tell us more. Why is this the number one?
Well, if a CEO doesn't have his health, that number one asset has gone downstream and the company will. So I think we forget, we're tied into the numbers and looking at the data and we're rating everything about our businesses in all the different areas, but we forget to rate ourselves on our emotional, mental levels and physical levels because without us, we are the asset. So I think it's important to look at ourselves as the leaders and how do we be healthy so that we can have our businesses strategize and be the best they can be.
What are the signals that we can look for? What are the metrics we should look at?
Well, I have a thing that I like to do. It's called the 7 pillars of health. And if you want, let's go through it really quickly. It's just a quick checklist. I want everyone to kind of do a self checkup on themselves in 7 different areas. It takes just a little bit of time, but what I want everyone to do is get a pen and paper and write down scores. So they're going to score themselves in each area of these 7 areas. So let's start with sleep. A one score, an example would be you can't get to sleep and you can't stay asleep. So you would rate yourself a 1. And an example of a 10 is you wake up, you're ready to go, you have energy all day long, but you're able to quiet your mind down at night and get a good night's sleep. That would be a 10. So everybody rate yourselves 1 to 10. Where are you on sleep? Number 2, body. A 1 would be you're weak, you're flabby, and you just really don't like looking in the mirror. And a 10 is you love your body and it's really working well for you. That's a 10. Okay. Gut health, very important. Microbiome, your brain, your immune system, all is about your gut health. So, a number 1, something we don't talk about a lot, let's talk about bowel movements, is that it's a great way to see how things are working digestion wise. And 1 would be you have a stinky poo, it's short, it's not formed, it's too loose, or you've got little rabbit pellets. And a 10 example would be what you just produced, which should be about the length of your wrist to your elbow, a nice formed log. Yeah, you're almost proud of it. And you're like, wow, did that just happen? That is an example of a good digestion that should happen every day. Energy, next one. A 1, rate yourself. You wake up tired, you're tired all day, then you can't get to sleep. That's called wired and tired. And many CEOs and entrepreneurs have that problem. Okay. A 10, a good example would be you get caught skinny dipping at 88 years old, like my father. He literally went to a resort with his wife. They forgot their swimsuits. They wanted to go into the hot springs, right? They waited till they thought everybody was down for the night and they got into the hot springs. They got too hot. They laid down to go to sleep. Of course, they got caught naked. So, but that's the kind of life that we want and the energy that we want. Good example of that. Next one is your mental state. A 1 is you're having trouble following me right now, trouble keeping up with everything that I'm saying and incorporating it into something that you might do for yourself. A 10, great focus, memory, clarity, and cognition. You're wiring and firing. That brain is doing everything you want it to do that you know that it can do. Next one would be relationships. One example, you don't have really family support, friends or colleagues, and you don't have intimacy with your partner. That's gone down. That libido's down the track, not there. But a 10 would be you have a supportive tribe around you, and you're having great sex. That's important. That's a piece of what we are as human beings, to be enjoying ourselves. And the last one, and probably the most important, is the spiritual health. And I'm not talking about religion. Talking about a one would be you just don't feel connected. You feel alone, and sometimes you wonder if it's all worth it. And a 10 is that you have been able to connect, whatever your belief system is, and you have the ability to feel a sense of peace no matter what challenges are going on around you, no matter what the chaos is, labor shortages, all the things that we're all experiencing. But you have a tool, you have an ability to get back to that state where the body can heal, rest, and digest. So that's what I would say is no score should be under an 8, Simon, because we wouldn't put up with that in our businesses. If we looked at all our different areas, looking at our P&L, if anything's under an 8 score, you're going to be looking at it. And we forget to think that the body, again, our mind and body is our most important asset. And if you're below an 8, you need to find the root of the problem. What's causing it? Don't go out there and get the latest, greatest IV and supplements and throw all this stuff at it. What's causing it? Because your body is sending you a signal and you need to listen to it. And things caught early are much easier to deal with than caught late. And remembering that we can't use the excuse, oh, I'm just getting older, I've got too much on my plate. No, 88 years old, skinny dipping, that's the way we're supposed to age.
I just did it for myself while you were talking,
Yeah.
and it's a great
Yeah.
exercise. You see if you have
Yeah.
some things that you have forgotten to take care of, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, I work a lot with, C-suites and corporations and CEOs and entrepreneurs, which are the worst in a good way, but literally so focused on their passion and purpose in life, which is fantastic. That's what keeps us going. But you've got to internalize once in a while and do this scan and take care of your body, because you are the asset.
And I'm so curious who you pick for the strategy award after one word from our sponsors.
Hey, if you like the tools, go grab them for free at strategysprints.com/tools.
So when everybody zigs, this person is zagging, but from your perspective, they're doing the right thing. Who do you pick?
It's hard I'll just say in the research medical world, it's Tom Seifried. I work a lot with the metabolic cancer world, the new therapies. We have gone down, and all our research has been studying cancer as a genetic disease. Very small percentage is actually genetic. It's metabolic. It's literally questioning the paradigm of what we're studying and the way we're treating cancer. So I really respect that. I'm in the middle of that, work with a lot of patients and researchers on that. But from this strategy award of who's helping me in businesses has helped me. I'm not a business to business, but I am a business to public and to, those. Is Dean Jackson has been very good to me of reminding me that you don't throw out a big net and hope you catch as many people as you can. You've really got to understand who it is. Again, strategy, and we all know it, who's your target audience, but it's about building a tribe, and that takes time. They need to trust you. They need to know that they want what you have. And as you build that loyal tribe, that is the best way. And that you're really never going for the sale. You're because you can scare people away, or they just don't want it right now. But the correct way is, how can I help them? What is it that they need, and how can I help them, and make them see that you're really on their side? And when they're ready for your help, they're there and they're going to take the next step. So that's been a big thought process change for me, and a strategy that Dean's been has helped me with.
Back to your 7 pillars: sleep, body, gut, energy, mental, relationships, spiritual. And you said entrepreneurs are the worst. And these are the people listening right now and they go, oh yeah, I'm
Yes.
the worst. Oh yeah, that's me, that's me. What what can we do to what are some, some realistic things that we can help them achieve?
Yeah. So in each of those pillars, what I'll do is I'll share with you, Simon, you can get it out to your listeners. I've got a little sheet that gives within those categories simple strategies that they can try. It doesn't matter what medication they're on, this and that. It doesn't dig as deep as I would be if I got my hands on them to be able to say, okay, here's what I really think that root of the problem is. But these are basic things, and a lot of it is just spending a moment, in quiet, and being able to meditate, being able to work with your brain, being able to really analyze your digestion and finding the root of that problem. Relationship. So I'll share that with you. I can go over some of them now, but I do think that it'll be interesting for us to be able to give you it's a personal health plan suggestions. And a lot of people do those, they look at those, and then if that doesn't work, then sometimes I work one-on-one as clients or patients, it depends on where they are in the world, and help them really go deeper than that to find out. But basics: sunlight, moonlight. When's the last time you've been out in moonlight? And are you getting enough sunlight? Does your body even know what night and day is because you're underneath your lights all day long, working? Melatonin's off. Are you testing your hormones correctly? Not just where the levels are, but what pathways they go down. We have very unique testing now to be able to see if we give a man testosterone and it's turning into estrogen, that's a problem and it's not helpful and it can be dangerous. And, what's the right type of exercise for people? And we can do that by looking at their genetics or their epigenetics and making sure, as far as their digestion, the microbiome is good, because we need our immune system intact in today's world, right? And so the way that we look, and I will just an example, working with an entrepreneur, couple entrepreneur males right now that both came back. We knew they had digestive disorders, and I identified parasites and fungal in them. And of course, they were freaked out about it. But I just say, okay, this is why. You can change your diet, you can do all the latest and greatest in treatments, but you didn't identify the cause. So that's the biggest goal, is like what's causing the problems. Is sleep a problem because cortisol, the stress hormones, off? We can look at these patterns. We have unique testing to be able to do it. But most people that are passionate purpose, your adrenal glands are fried. So if you get up, sit up, or jump up, you get little lightheaded, that's a sign you're pushing it, your car's out of gas, your adrenal glands can't correct your blood pressure. Those are good signs your body's giving you that you need to make some big changes.
I did recently an epigenetic test, and it said,
Yep.
hey, Simon, for your gut biome, it would be great if you have more of the fermented things like kefir, kombucha, etc. And I was like, what is kefir? What is kombucha? So I Googled,
Yeah.
and now my kids and I, we are doing our own kombucha, and it's
Yes.
fun.
It is fun to do those things. And everyone, regardless of your DNA, everyone's GI, gastrointestinal, does better with fermented foods. Sauerkraut and yogurt can do it as well. Be careful, though, I want to say, when you're making your own at home, you can grow some bad bacteria in there that can make you sick. So make sure you're being sterile and doing it correctly. I've got to give a shout out for that. You've got to do it right. You've got to be careful.
And on a more systemic level, what have you seen over the last 1-2 years increasing in these 7 pillars? Where are we getting more pressure on?
All of the 7 pillars are struggling because people are under stress. And when we're running from a bear, we have the autonomic nervous system. And that nervous system says, am I in rest or digest? Am I safe? There's no bears around. I can detox. I can repair. I can work with the genetics. I can do all this wonderful stuff that the body needs to do because it's safe. But when we're running from the bear or to a bear because we're excited about it, but we're pushing The gas, we're taking a Ferrari, a car that you're trying to take care of your body, but there's no gas in it and you keep pushing it. That's the problem. And when we're in running from the bear, all those other things get shut off. Now's not the time to sleep. Now's not the time for libido. Now's not the time to have a bowel movement, digest. All those important things get turned off because the body's going to decide, do I need to survive right now or get eaten by a bear? Do I need to survive, turn on survival, and turn all this other off for now? And it should be able to do that, Simon. But the problem is, everybody's doing it all day long. The body never has time to sleep, digest, all those important things. Stress is causing it. And every one of those 7 pillars is suffering.
And 3 books that inspired you.
Yes. I thought about that and I thought, it was interesting because I love to read and I read a lot, voracious reader, but I went back into in childhood, what was my favorite book? And it was interesting because I just reread it. I bought it again and I thought, you know what? That book touched me as a kid. It was called Where the Red Fern Grows. It was the bond between a boy and his dogs, but it was about those dogs also, when they got buried and there was a red fern that grew between them that was something that doesn't happen, very rare thing. It just touched me spiritually, emotionally, and I just reread it and I love that one. It's not the most well written, but it was touching for me. As an adult, it was Les Miserables, the unabridged version, which takes you off into history and all the other things that I love. But Les Miserables, and that's about heart, soul, having life be very, very difficult, but still not losing that basic humanity to be able to help others. And my current books, Man Seeks God and the Socrates Express, those are by Eric Weiner. I think he is one of the best writers right now because I look forward to picking up one of his books. He has The Geography of Genius. They're funny. They're educational. They're going to teach you things. It's rare for me to read a book now where I actually have to Google a word to say, okay, I've heard it, I'm not quite sure, and increase your vocabulary, but he keeps you entertained and educated. Prolific writer. I encourage everybody to look into Eric Weiner. I just think it's fantastic. And you learn philosophy, you learn about how to even think through your own belief systems of what do you believe from a spiritual standpoint, but it keeps you laughing as well and laughing at ourselves in the way we think through things.
If somebody goes, oh, I resonate with these 7 pillars, I want to check this a little bit deeper, where should people go?
I'm going to give you, if you want, the little copy of those 7 pillars. And I'm also doing a 10, it's called a 90-minute book. Dean Jackson, again, has this little process that you can, in 90 minutes, throw down a book. And so we're in the middle of that, and that'll be a free ebook. If they want to go to my website at Dr. Worden, drworden.com, I'll have that up there and I'll be giving that away on my social media and all that as soon as that's ready. But for now, I'll give it to you so you can share it with them.
Beautiful. And that's an interesting process. A book in 90 minutes?
It's called the 90-minute book. And so you have your concept, but your first call is just a minute. They look at what's the best way, what's going to be the cover, what's going to be the pull. It's not a in-depth novel. I'm writing another book on what you do when you find out you have cancer, those steps. That's 4 years in process, right? Still in process. But the 90-minute book is something that you can do with any idea, and you have this person that's going to help you. You give them the ideas, you can talk it through with them. They write it, you can edit it, you can do that, and it's out. They've got it in a finished product, physical book and push out book, and they can do it in 90 minutes, which is very attractive. I plan to do several through them.
Yeah, you have to connect me because I'm thinking about my next book. My first book is ready. It will come out in February. I'm thinking about the second one.
Yes.
And that might be the right thing to do.
It's so easy. And that's the point. We're busy. We want our message. We've got all this knowledge and education we want to get out there. But who has time to sit down to try to really write it and, do it right? You can hire ghostwriters, but that's very expensive. And this is just quick and easy. And so 90-minute books is the name of it, with Dean Jackson. But I will connect you for sure.
Super cool.
And he's a great person to work with. He has helped me on the blueprint for my business, which means strategizing. I've got a television show coming out. I've got, I'm doing research with MD Anderson. I see patients and clients from all over the world. I'm doing workshops and seminars and all these things. And I've got a product line, a unique supplement product line, because I've been in that space for 20 years. And finally, I said I need to do my own and do it better than what's out there. All of these things, Simon, like we all have, but Dean has allowed me to sit with him, work with him, and strategize a blueprint. What comes first? What comes
Wow, you
first?
have a
In
lot
what
going
order?
on. You are a
Yeah.
super entrepreneur, a force of nature.
And corporate wellness program with Barbara Annis, which has gender intelligence. So now we're bringing to corporations this management. It's not just your diet and your lifestyle and all the same thing that everybody does. We've got a unique perspective because men and women's brains are very different from a gender intelligence standpoint. Everything is different, and being able to utilize music and other tools that are scientifically proven to give quick strategies for people in the workplace, from CEOs down to the call center. I won't say down to, over to the call center, for stress reduction. Very quick things that can be done during the day. So we're excited about that as well.
And with all these things that you are creating, how do you make sure your 7 pillars are on top?
Right. I make sure I sleep well. I make sure my digestion is well. I make sure that I do spend some time on my physical body to exercise. I do my meditation so I connect spiritually every day, because that sense of peace and connectedness, that no matter what happens or doesn't happen, doesn't really matter, because it's all going to be okay. When you can connect to that, high energy people like me, like you, like entrepreneurs, we've got to have that moment of, take it all away, connect at a deeper level, and that allows you to let that body repair, the mind, the body, and the spirit, taking just a few minutes a day to do processes. And that's some of the things that we teach and we work with.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Who should be my
Sure.
next guest?
Well, somebody who's very, very interesting, Barry Goldstein. I think he may be in a men's group with you. I'm not sure that. I think that may be how you even got to me, but he won a Grammy for producing Les Paul, the inventor of the electric guitar. He works with Dr. Daniel Amen, Dave Asprey, Joe Dispenza, many, many others. But it's about using music in a way that you can get your brain and your body to go where you want it to go. And there's a lot of science behind it. He wrote a book. He's fascinating. He's fun, but there's a lot to learn how easy it is. Because think about this, Simon. What's the fastest way to shift your emotion right now in this moment? You put on a song, either one that makes you sad or makes you happy, and it immediately shifts you. So he has some great tools of relaxation techniques and all that, but it's fascinating, the science behind music, and he does musical branding. He works with big companies with frequencies and amazing things going on with him. And I think your audience would love it. And he is my husband. Get that out there to say, but I do think he would be a fantastic person for you to have. People
Thank you so
love what
much.
he has to offer.
Oh, yes, I'm already excited. And thank you so much, Dr. Donese Worden, for being here, sharing your journey, your wisdom with us. Please come back soon.
I will. Take care of mind, body, and spirit,
Avoid
everyone.
trying to do thousands of things that doesn't work. We have 274 templates for your business success. Reach your ambitious goals with one-on-one sprint coach. We double your revenue in 90 days.